This is TCR, TroyCommunityRadio.com. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN. Saturday morning programming is brought to you by Outlook Financial. And time now for the Mayor's Report. With me, of course, Mayor Michael Beamish.
He is here in the studio. Boy, this studio is starting to grow there, Clint. This is looking nice.
There's a lot of elbow room in here now.
Absolutely, and I understand you are responsible for all the workmanship in here. And
I do what I can.
Well, you've done a great job, and I appreciate that. Of course, I appreciate you and David and certainly Bill and everybody at Troy Community Radio for what you do to promote our community events.
We are growing along with the downtown.
We are.
It's just how it works. Speaking of the downtown, all the signs are up. Everybody's been doing good with parking. I've been watching this. I think it works great.
I like the idea you have a good view. You can see how things are going. And you know, a lot of discussion is, do we listen? Do we listen to people? Well, this is a perfect example. We did listen. We listened to a lot of folks, and then we tried to assimilate all those ideas and suggestions into a plan. And we came up with 30-minute parking instead of 15 minutes, so that allows people to get in and out. We have 2-hour parking in the quadrants, which allows people to have opportunity to have lunch or dinner and just to enjoy the time. And then we have 4 hours just within a block away, 4-hour parking, which allows the shopping. People like to walk around, see the different small businesses we have, and we are growing in small businesses in downtown. And if that's not enough, we do have, if you're willing to walk maybe a couple of blocks, we have free parking now in parking lots.
Well, Cherry Street, the parking lot on Cherry Street is only a block from the downtown.
Absolutely.
So that isn't really any walking at all. You're already downtown.
So, and people looks like they're using, as you said, Clint, you're watching this, and it looks like people are realizing what the signs are, where they're geographically placed, and I think it's a good move. And it goes along with also how we're getting traffic moving through Troy. I think there's a lot of good things happening with our living room of our community, and that being the downtown Troy.
Well, and it's just not the 30-minute, 2-hour, 4-hour parking signs. There are instructional signs all over downtown telling you where there is parking and where you can go.
And that really helps our visitors coming into
Yes.
our community looking for a place to go. So we're happy with that. The feedback I'm getting is very positive. It's not 100% perfect, but when you try to assimilate everybody's ideas and put it into a plan, I think council, the administration, people that were all involved in downtown, all came together with the best possible plan.
Well, absolutely. I think that, again, that it's been working good, watching out the windows. You see a good turn of traffic through the quads. That, to me, means it's making some cash registers ring in our downtown businesses.
Absolutely.
Spring, it's here. But
and
then it goes away a little bit. But we need to be thinking spring because the annual spring cleanup is on for the neighborhoods.
April 9th through the 13th, so it's coming up this week, and certainly it's an opportunity for people to do a little extra cleaning if they're so inclined. Our dye mill facility is open now, so you have that option available to you. But if you have a normal recycling day, refuse collection day, you can, on the week of April 9th through the 13th, you can put out extra bags and they will continue to pick those up. And I tell everybody, separate that. You got the carts and they have a mechanism, so put the extra bags off to the side a little bit so they can see them, but still get the cart and use the cart first.
Right, fill the cart.
Right. If you have any questions, I always tell everybody, call the Central Maintenance Facility. and tell them what you got, and they can tell you which bin to put them in, which cart to put them in, which bag to put them in, or where to take it. So that's what I would suggest. But it is a great week. It is a good spring neighborhood cleanup week. And I would even go so far as, if you're taking walks, take a bag with you. And if you see this winter trash that is collected, pick it up, put it in the bag, and you got the week to put extra stuff out.
Well, I have to give kudos. I was watching trash being picked up by Rumpke the other morning, and he wheeled the big dumpsters out of the alley and dumped them in the truck, but there was some other trash that was just down in the quad. He stopped, bent down, and the Rumpke man picked it up and put it in the trash.
You know,
It didn't come out of the dumpsters, but he just took that extra moment. I want to kind of spotlight that out. Might not even be somebody from our community, but certainly,
most likely not.
But certainly took the time to make it look nice.
Well, Clint, I'm glad you said that, because I know our street workers all work hard
Yes.
to try to maintain a beauty in our community. And Rumpke is one of those people who come out, and to hear that makes me feel very good that they're also taking pride in our community as well.
Council met last Monday. Yeah.
Last Monday we did meet on, believe it or not, April Fool's Day, April 1, and we had not a whole lot of issues. One of the issues, and again, these issues, we had 8 members of council present, and this was unanimous in their vote, but one of the resolutions that we had deals with the 2019 CHIP program. That's the Community Housing Impact and Preservation Partnership. And when I say partnership, it's Miami County, it's Tip City, it's Piqua, it's Troy, working together to promote property owners can submit applications for rehabilitation of repair projects that they may have. And so that's a good thing. And so they passed 8-0. That was one of the resolutions. Also looking at Frontier Communications relocation of their lines on the south end of Water Street, and again, just to allow us to keep moving forward on the riverfront projects with some of the new projects that you're starting to see on Water Street. This allows that to move forward, and that's a partnership as well between the entrepreneurs that are doing some investment and the city, working with them to make that happen. And so we, not to exceed $45,000 will help with that relocation of lines. We did have one ordinance that I'll just share because it's going to be a public hearing on the April 15th meeting, and that's dealing with the rezoning off of Peters Road. So it's going from a county zoning to an R4 zoning here in the city of Troy. It's been recommended by Planning Commission, but there'll be a public hearing on the 15th, and then council can act on that. So they move forward with that. Basically, those were the issues that came up at council. Again, there were others who stepped forward and shared concerns, mostly around communication.
Okay.
And I know we try to do our best, you and Clint and David, to broadcast what we're doing in the community. And I have to say, our council do their due diligence. We don't always agree, but we listen. And I mean, God gave us 2 ears and to listen on both sides, and then you have a brain that has to sort it out. And I think council tries very hard. I know, just speaking for myself, I've been in this business as a mayor for going on 16 years now, and during that time I've met with our Senior Citizen Center, meet with our seniors 4 times a year in an open forum, just to keep the lines of communication, listening to our seniors and what they think. And then you and I have talked about, we have a Mayor's Youth Council on the 5th and 6th grade level. And then we listen to the Leadership Troy groups as they come in. And then we also listen to our teens, our juniors going into their senior year. So when we talk about, communication, I think there's some good examples of, wow, we do open ourselves up, but we're people too, and we have lives that we have to move around and get around and do things. So it's very complicated, but I appreciate the leadership of people who step forward and take that risk of making decisions for the community.
Well, I don't think you and I have ever had trouble communicating.
We do pretty good. We just kind of start talking, and here we are.
Now, something else that's going to be going on. You had mentioned the progress and things moving forward with the riverfront development and Water Street, but over at Hobart, they have the Great Miami Riverway Summit that's going to be coming up.
And this is special because this isn't just a Troy event, even though Troy is hosting, and I will say the Troy Foundation is the signature sponsor. Troy Foundation, I can't say enough about what they do for our community in helping and supporting different events and different activities and different organizations throughout our community.
It's incredible to have them here.
But to have a Hobart Arena as a treasure and to have that as the regional site for the annual Great Miami, and this is along the Great Miami Riverway Summit, and it will be held on April 19th from 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock in the afternoon at our historic Hobart Arena. And we plan on having 40 vendors there to talk about different recreational ways that they can utilize not only the river, but a recreational trail system that runs parallel to the river. So it's a really great thing for Troy. It will give us some economic impact as people come in. It is a ticketed event. There is a small nominal cost, but it includes lunch too. I think it's $15. If you're interested, if anybody's out there, you can go to the website greatmiamiriverway.com. Pretty easy. greatmiamiriverway.com, and they can make a reservation to attend that special event. We are going to have a keynote speaker this year, and she's a nationally known speaker coming from Colorado. It's Katie Jacobson, and she will be sharing different marketing techniques on how you can promote your treasure of a river. And so I think it's going to be a wonderful day. It unfortunately falls on a religious day, a Good Friday, on April 19th, but it's the only time we can work this out. But we're expecting a good turnout. Right. It's 8 to 1, so it's not the whole day, but we hope people will avail themselves to the opportunities that can be along the Great Miami River.
Well, it's really easy to think about what's happening here in Troy with the riverfront development, but you got to step outside of the box and realize it's not just in Troy. This is the Great Miami River from tip to toe.
Well, and it starts in what we consider the Riverway from Sydney all the way through Hamilton. So it's a long stretch, but Troy has been a pillar in this whole movement. And Miami County in Piqua.
Exactly.
Everybody's working together, promote their river as a treasure that people can avail themselves of all ages and enjoy.
Well, it's getting certainly everybody on board. The development boat.
That's good. That's a good way of saying it.
I just can't wait to be back down at Treasure Island Park this summer and the different events and the things that Troy has to offer on the river.
We will have events downtown. Mm-hmm. We have events at our other treasure at Hainer Cultural Center. We have events at Treasure Island Park, which is certainly has bloomed into something very positive with events and activities and concerts. So there's lots of things. When we keep thinking spring, soon to be thinking summer, we will have a lot of opportunities for people to just enjoy the ambiance of the Troy community in Miami County.
Now, I do want to add one more thing. on Treasure Island Park. Everyone was so worried about it flooding and it would be destroyed. Looks just as beautiful as the day that it was built. Nothing's washed away.
And I have to continue to thank our engineering staff for realizing that and making so everything electrical is up high enough that has never been flooded, and the water was designed to, when it starts to recede, it recedes back into the riverbanks, and then we may have a little cleanup along the recreational trails, but we're ready to go pretty soon as the water leaves and goes back into the Great Miami. We're ready to go.
All right. Mayor, thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Well, I always enjoy coming, and again, I'll just mention also on April 17th, Meet the Candidates Night.
Oh, that's right. That's coming up.
There are some contested races you may want to come and listen to each of the candidates and talk about their merits, what they would bring to the table of Troy. And also I want to mention, I think I mentioned earlier, April 15th will be the next council meeting. We will have a public hearing on that day on the rezoning, and there'll probably be other things on our agenda as well.
All right, and as always, it's open to the public, the council meetings. And if you can't make the council meeting, why not watch it streaming live online? And you can do that at troyohio.gov.
And I know many people do that. It's convenience, and I thank you for doing that.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Mayor Mike Beamish, this has been the Mayor's Report. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN.